Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. Welcome to Reality Buzz TV, where we talk about all things reality TV shows and all things reality TV shows does. So today I want to do the full review of episode 10 of the Bala Family. Okay, a lot is going on. Okay, a lot is going on, and my fave, okay, is not doing so well. But let's talk about what happened, you guys. In the beginning of this episode, they are finally doing the performance. That the reason that they went to East London was for this big performance as the Bala family. So everybody is there except for the kids. Mom is there, Zwei, Lois, So, Pinky, and Pelo. All of them are there. And well, Jen is not there as well. So the first thing was just them preparing for the performance. And from the beginning, you guys, Mom was supposed to sing with them. But then she ended up not coming on stage, and I still don't understand why. I don't know if she didn't know when she was supposed to go on stage, or nobody thought to sort of make plans. It's okay, while we are performing, Mom must sit here, and then somebody must now move her to a certain area or move her to behind the stage so that she can come on. I don't know what happened, you guys, but it ended up being that they performed. By the way, you guys, of course, the performance was great. Okay, awesome stuff. That's the one thing that the Bala family does right. Okay, and also in music, they understand each other. There's no misunderstanding in the family when it comes to music. Even Pelo will show up for every scene drunk, but when they are supposed to perform, he will show up sober. Okay, so the music is what brings the family together. So they performed very nicely, you guys, and then they brought in Upinki. She did her song, and then it was time for Mom to do her song. Mom was nowhere to be found. Okay. The next thing we're seeing Mom sitting with the audience. I'm like, Mommy, you are supposed to be on stage. What the hell are you doing sitting with your fans? Okay. I don't know what happened, you guys. But then Pinky ended up singing the song that Mom was supposed to sing. Mom was like, I was somewhere and I could hear that they already singing my song, and I don't know what's happening. Okay. So they didn't explain to us why Mom was not able to make it to the stage. So performance goes well, you guys. Okay. And Pinky should be part of the group anyway, okay? Because she's really good. And yeah, so the performance goes well, you guys. Now, remember, Pelo had told the family that he wants to go see his father's family. And I don't know if unomsebenzi afanele wenza, but he wanted to see the family. So when they came together to East London, but when they were leaving, he was not supposed to live with the family. And Loiso had decided, Uguti, he is going to drive him to go see his father's family, and then they were going to drive back home together. Okay. Now, what happened was at the event, there was Moshe apparently, and they spent time together. Moshe no Pelo. I don't know why they're not. Maybe he didn't want them to mention that it's him, because they keep they when they are talking about Moshe, they beep his name. And also, but then we know that it's him, because when they say Pelo's ex, we know it's him. Which other ex? If it was another ex, they would explain, because the reason they just say it's an ex, then we know that it's Moshe. Okay, but if it's not him, honey, So then they had spent time together. There's a story like that, like Pelo spent time with Moshe, and I was like, Moshe, aren't you in a relationship? Aren't you in a serious relationship? Maybe that's the reason he doesn't want his name mentioned, because his partner is gonna be sitting there thinking, you did what? What? So when you were you ended up spending time with who? With who? Where? Definitely, I felt like, what is the reason that he doesn't want, if it's him that doesn't want his name mentioned here? I definitely feel like something happened between possibilities. So then, yeah, the performance part went well. Then we also saw another scene where Moshe's mom is spending time with Pelo's mom. Apparently, during the marriage, they became friends and they are remaining friends. That's another thing, guys, that is very hard with breakups, because then your friends will be friends with your person, and then your family will be friends with the person, but you don't really want to see the person anymore, and you are forced to see the person. Because even at the event, my belief was that that was Loiso's event. So they could have chosen someone else. I don't know if Moshe was emceeing, but we didn't see him, but he was going to be part of the event. They could have chosen someone else, but they chose him. There must be a reason why they chose him, meaning that other people are still keeping those relationships. Now, you guys, isn't the friendship between Moshe's mom and Pelo's mom cute? I like it for that. Okay, I like it that in their 70s or whatever, they are still, you know, meeting new friends. They seem to be getting along, you guys, and their friendship is not affected by the fact that Moshe and Pelo are not around each other anymore. I loved it for them. Listen, baby, they were looking fly. The weave mama was weaving shame. Oh mama, you know, like how some of you will be putting the weave. See, bonilla, what's ear the weave, yabo. Even I don't know how to put a weave on, but I know what you are not supposed to see. Kona le line lena yenu la. Niyayibona le line yenu manifaka ama weave. Pala's mom did not have, her weave was, so they went for lunch or something, and they were just talking about, I guess, they were having a conversation about dealing with having gay sons, how hard it was to accept, and eventually they did accept. I'm wondering, you guys, because like when someone is gay, a lot of the times when they are growing up, everybody will be saying, "Would say, that's okay." Do parents see? Because it sounds like, Pelo's mom was saying that she never expected that Pelo would be gay. Did she not see anything? But sometimes when you're a mom, you can just ignore my signs, and yeah, they were just talking about that, and they were saying, they got to a point where they just felt, what are you gonna do? They still love their children and all of that. And Moshe's mom was saying, she feels like she just wants her child the way that he is, nobody else. So, they also talked about Pelo's mom, how she's feeling after Jafta left or passed away. Now, you guys, I kind of believe the Bala mom, if she meets a man, she will get married, because I feel like she's the type that likes having somebody and likes being married. But she is saying that she's not going to get married. She says that door for her is closed. The door is closed. You remember Nini Lex? The door is closed. She says that the door is closed. She's not doing it anymore at 72. She's not starting no relationships. She's not doing umjolo. And she's definitely not going to some mother-in-law's house. Okay. So she says she's done dating. And but she didn't really answer the question of because Moshe's mom was asking, do you feel lonely? And I'm sure sometimes she does, because she was living with Ubabjafta for some time. So there must be that space, But I like that Umama has her life together, because I felt like after the funeral and everything, maybe there would be times where she would fall apart. But maybe even shooting the family, which I was questioning when they started doing it, would say, why are they doing it so soon after the funeral? Because mom just needs some time to be by herself and go through some healing. And so I didn't think that it was a good idea to make her shoot as many scenes as she has been shooting on the show right after she lost her husband. I didn't think that it was a good idea. But from the way that she is now, she looks like she's dealing with it okay. So maybe shooting the show helped her, because another thing is that you have to attend events, you have to be with family, you have to be around people. So it forces her to be around people instead of sitting in her house alone. Also, maybe Pinky and Pelo moving back to the house, also that helped her, because then she's just dealing with drama all the time. Because listen, you guys, it looks like the house has a lot of drama, but they also avoid shooting in the house. And I think it would be great to actually see, let me not say great, I say it would be a good TV moment to actually see what goes on in the house. Because according to Pinky, Pelo drinks a lot and then he will come with drama. She was even saying something like, when Pelo came back from East London, they didn't sleep for 2 days because ubedelela nje the whole time. He was drunk and ubedelela the whole time. I wish that, part of me wishes that they had that on camera. Part of me doesn't wish for it to be on camera, because I can imagine how embarrassing that is, nje, for the family. And also because I feel like addiction is a very serious thing. And I think that Upelo has some addiction issues, alcoholism issues, maybe, you know. So there's something that's off about Pelo. But apparently there's a lot of drama that goes on in the house, but we don't see it on the show. I don't know if it's intentional on their part to not shoot any scenes in the house, just them, having a normal day in the house. Or they just didn't think about it, that they might get good TV moments if they just had days where they shoot in the house, or they have cameras set up in the house where they can just capture what is happening in the house, especially with them mentioning that Upelo acts the way that he acts when he's drunk. Now, Pelo's mom had a cute present for Moshe's mom, because it was her birthday the following day, but she wasn't going to be able to attend the birthday. I like their friendship. I think she gave her perfume. I like their friendship, guys. I do. I really like it. It would have been so cute if Moshe and Pelo were able to work things out, Anyway, that's life. Now, Loyiso had volunteered to drive Upelo to see his family, and then for them to drive back home. So now it's a miserable morning, it's raining, whatever. Loyiso is trying to get hold of Pelo. Pelo is nowhere to be found, not answering the phone and whatever. Now he has to go look for him. I think, guys, nah. And we have to assume sometimes, because, or just add things up for ourselves, because I've said before, some diary sessions are not good. I think in the diary, the Uloiso should have been made to explain what's okay. I'm still in East London. It's a day after our performance, and Upeloge had asked me to drive with him to his father's place, which is at, so we understand where the family is. So I decided to drive with him. When I was trying to get hold of him, I couldn't get hold of him until I called whoever, and they said that he's in the house sleeping. They don't explain whose house it is where Upelo is sleeping, and I'm assuming, I think that it was Moshe's place, or Moshe's mom's place, because Moshe was there as well. Moshe is from East London. Where's Moshe from? Because I think that's the reason also the moms decided to meet, because mom was going to go back home and they were still in East London. So that's why they had that lunch with Moshe's mom. So I think that Moshe went and spent time with, Pelo went and spent time with Moshe. I think so. So finally he says, she called them, which I'm guessing, and they said that Pelo is sleeping, so he was going to fetch her. And he just called Jen, because at some point he was frustrated with the fact that, I volunteered to take him, to drive him home, because the others are driving straight home. They're not going to take him to where he wants to go. So I volunteered to do that for him. Now I'm trying to find him, and he is nowhere to be found. But eventually they get hold of him. He fetches him and they're on their way. And how does Pelo look? He looks drunk. Looks and sounds drunk. I thought that was the worst, but we were about to see Pelo really, really drunk. Okay. So now they were just having a conversation in the house. I think Loiso is trying to get to what's happening between Pelo and Moshe, because he's also feeling like they did spend time together. In the diaries, it did say, I wondered, did they sleep together? Did they, or what the heck is happening? And now, you guys, he says to Pelo that he still loves Moshe. And I think this is what, and I don't want to make excuses for Pelo, but I also do know that if you are struggling with substances and you are struggling with alcohol, there are things that would be your trigger to go back. Because let's be honest, you guys, Pelo at the beginning of the season was trying to stay away from alcohol, but he has gone back. So I feel like here, because he's talking about the fact that he really still loves Moshe, but Moshe is now with someone else. Obviously, there's nothing that they can do. And he was talking about how he was um, crying his eyes out because of that, So I feel like maybe the push was that to him seeing his ex and also realizing he's still in love with his ex, and then realizing that even though he might be in love with him, but he's never really going to have him because Moshe has done move on. Okay, that's why you need to take care of your relationship before it falls apart. So I do think that pushed him. So my understanding is that they ended up not going to see Pelo's family because Lois was feeling like, listen, it might not be a good idea to do it today because one, you are drunk. Two, the rain. It's going to take us so long to get back home. Now Pelo was like, so which one is the reason? Is the reason the fact that I'm drunk, or the reason, I think that there was a right decision for him to not go see his family drunk like that, not looking good. And he can go another time, but he'll probably drink that day too. So I think they made a decision not to go see Pelo's family. Then he said the statement like, I'm done with this family. Pelo says statements like that just in the middle of a conversation. And it's frustrating to listen to his conversations because sometimes they don't make sense. You have to like add it up. It's okay. He's done with his family. He cried his eyes out. I don't know what he means by the fact that he's done with the family. But I guess maybe we'll learn more from that next week, because there is a phone call. I don't know who Zwa is talking to, but he's mentioning Uti. Pelo uses the fact that he has a different father against them. That's the part that I don't understand, you guys. But I guess we'll understand next week. I do feel like Pelo has to acknowledge that he has his own father, he has his own surname. And I don't know why anybody will have an issue with that. So I guess I'll understand those why next week, but I don't understand. He does have a different father, he does have a different family. So what is he supposed to do? Just ignore the fact that he has this whole other family? I don't know, you guys. Now, the final. This was supposed to be such a cute scene, you guys, when the car is finally given to the mother. Everybody was supposed to be happy, congratulating mom. But Pelo spoils this scene. Because one, while they are preparing for mom to come so they can give her the surprise, Pelo is so drunk. He was even wearing one shoe. He is talking, but he's not making sense. Even, you could see it even in Jen's face, that Jen was so disappointed that Pelo is drunk like that. Pinky arrives, and Pinky is also disappointed with Lona is drunk. But guys, please, those who watch the episode, did you not think that Pinky is trying to say that Jen is the one that gives Pelo the alcohol? Because why did she ask Uguti, where does Pelo get alcohol from? When did you drink now? Do you not think ukuthi that's what I felt like she's trying to say? Jen, maybe the reason he's trying is because he has access to alcohol at Jen's house. I feel like she was trying to say that. Because of course they always blame Jen, but it's a perfect thing that she can use against Jen. And it's possible because she is at Jen's house. He is at Jen's house, Upelo. But it's also possible that he brought the alcohol. But Ulona, I've never seen Ulona. It wouldn't make sense because I've never seen Loiso drink. And also he's that born again, straightforward Christian. And I don't think they drink. So I don't know if they keep alcohol in the house. But I kind of felt like that. I felt like Pink is trying to say that they are the ones that help him to get alcohol. Because I was like, when he's saying, when did you buy alcohol? I'm like, but didn't you guys just had a performance and got paid? So he must have money to buy the alcohol. Now, you guys, mommy arrives and they blindfold the mom. Jenny takes it. Guys, I do like the relationship with Jen. No, mama. I know some people don't like it. I like it. I like it, you guys. I think she really cares about mom. I think Jen really cares about three people in this family: her husband, Pello, and mom. The others, not so much. And so they blindfolded the mom, presented the car, the Mercedes, okay? Mom is happy, obviously. But Upelo is just like, The thing about someone that is drunk, you can't keep them quiet because I think Upelo should have just sat down, like when you're trying to sit still and you're drunk, should have done that and wait for that thing to be over and then leave. But he was trying to participate in what was happening. And he ends up saying to the mom, Loiso has always felt like that about mom. Instead, I think he means he takes care of their mom, Loiso. But that's not a good thing to say when the other siblings are there. So the mom says, even what the mom said, Janaming did it, but I guess you guys, she was trying to say, I'm not going to treat them different because they do this. I love all of my kids because I feel love for all of my kids. But she ends up saying, I'm not going to praise Uloiso, not just because they gave me a car. But I was like, no, but you should. They gave you a whole car. It's difficult to be a parent, you guys, because I guess she's trying to make sure that the others don't feel like she loves them less because they didn't give her anything. But listen, he gave you a car, okay? So obviously, when Pelo is saying that, then it ends up everybody. The attention now is on Pelo, and the mom is now talking about the disappointment that is Pelo, and Pelo is complaining that he's being thrown under the bus. Then randomly, you guys, this might be like bad edits because randomly, what the fuck a drunk person does that, where a person is talking about something else and then they're talking about something totally different. Because I was like, Ulisa usengenaphi manje? And she says, Upelo said something about Lisa being Pinky's daughter, something about Ulisa, utheni kodwa Nkosi like akahloniphi or thinks she's better or something like that. Then that made you Pinky angry. Then was why then they had an exchange with Pinky no Pelo because of that. Pinky Ulisa usengenaphi. I don't know if Pelo found out what Ulisa was saying. I don't know, guys. I don't know. It was just like out of the blue. Now he's talking about Ulisa. So now there's an exchange between Pelo and Pinky. And it's not a good one because this one is drunk. Guys, like I said on my other video, I do think, yes, he has alcohol issues, but there might be something else. There might be something else because was behaving very strangely. So you guys, but besides, again, the mom was happy about the car, and then Uzwaige was now. I guess the mom now is trying to correct Pelo, and then Zwei also comes in, and then Pinky. Pinky and Pelo were already having that exchange, and all of that. So it was looking like everybody now is shouting at Upelo. I think somebody should have just taken out Upelo from that situation. Jen should have taken Upelo out of the situation, but I guess she wanted to be there for the presentation of the car. And I get to Wuti because of Pelo's behavior. It's very difficult for them to keep quiet and just let it be between Pelo and Pinky. Of course, mom is going to say something. Zwei always has to say something when it comes to Pelo's behavior. But then Jen ended up saying, no, Loiso ended up saying, yo, we are Tetiswa Opala. I mean, Opelo. Loiso is of the belief that if they speak to him like that, he's not going to hear them anyway. They're all speaking at the same time. They're all shouting at him. He's not going to hear them. And I understand him because I do think he's drunk. Even if they shout at him, all of them at the same time, tomorrow is not going to believe, it is not going to remember any of it. And they need to find calm moments to speak to him. But it's also difficult to wait for those calm moments when somebody is drunk now and being disrespectful now. Now, you guys, this is a thing. I feel like it's about time that this family focuses on Pedro. You have a family member that is sick right now because alcoholism is a disease. And he's not going to recognize it for himself that he needs help, because if he could, he would have done it already. So I do feel if they don't do some kind of an intervention and make an attempt to take him to rehab, they are missing out on giving us educational content, because I do feel like there are a lot of families that are going through that, where they have family members that are struggling with drinking and substances. And if they just move their focus from everything else and focus on, listen, we're not taking one more step in shooting the show until we help you. If we are shooting anything, we are shooting us trying to get Upelo to rehab. They will be missing out on good TV as well if they don't do that. So I do feel like they could just focus on that, but he does need help. He does. And Ukumtetisa is not going to help. He's not going to help. So that was it, you guys. I was so disappointed at Pelo. I don't want to lie. I was so disappointed at Opelo. I do understand that he is struggling. He ended up apologizing to He was, I guess he had a sober moment, just a small sober moment, where he ended up apologizing to his mom, and then he walked away. And it was I felt sad. I think even if it was my little brother like that, I would feel sad. And then Jen was like, she was feeling sad because she knows that is going to be used against him by the family, that whole thing. But I think that they are focusing on the wrong things, all of them, because the other members of the family are focusing on when he says something wrong, they're screaming at him and whatever. They just are trying to nurse him, But I just feel like all of them need to come back to just one thing, to be like, listen, guys, we have a problem here. And the person is not going to be able to solve it himself. Because even with Jen to say it will be used against him, I don't think that should be the focus. The focus should be, how do we get him help? Because this is not it, So yes, you guys, this episode made me sad. It did. It made me really, really sad. I think Upelo might be dealing with some things like mental issues. I don't know. Those who know more, maybe they can tell us. Do they see any signs of like depression? Because sometimes I feel like it could be that. But yes, I feel like rehab is needed. Anyway, you guys, that's all that I wanted to talk about today. Tell me what you thought about this episode, because I shame upelo. And also, don't forget to like the video before we're gonna share it with your friends, with your family, and even with strangers in Tanda.